Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and welcome to Stories and Stamps. So, today's story is a little bit about the creative process. How do you pick a stamp set? You know, how does it work, and what are you going to do with it? Because it can all be a little bit overwhelming. So, I'm going to walk you through how I came up with these cards and how I play, and also what the stamp set and the bundle looks like in the catalog and how it might not attract your eye at all. So let's take a look. So I just have some paper laying here, but here is the mini catalog, and this is the stamp set. It's called Merriest Moments, and what jumps out at me are the big sayings. Okay, that's what gets me. I see some leaves, some holly leaves, and some poinsettias, but I'm not a big poinsettia fan, so it's more the holly leaves and the berry and this beautiful sprig that gets my attention. And also I find these little dotty stamps to be super useful. But then peeking out the side here, you see a little glimpse of some pretty die cut and a die, and then there's a hazy little embossing folder in the background. Well, that's where the true beauty lies. Now you're going to see numbers there, and those are euros and pounds because I'm in Europe right now. I married a Dutchman. I don't even know what the prices are in Canadian right now. However, I will put the links in my YouTube video. So if you click on the show more, you'll find the links there. So if you want these, get them. This is one product that I honestly think you will use over and over and over again, and you're never going to get rid of out of your stash. In a minute, I'm going to show you the paper that goes with it, and it is called Painted Christmas. But now here is the embossing folder. So it's a beautiful frame with kind of like a snowflakey background. And then there are dies that go with it, but I'm only going to focus on these. So we have a big outline die. We have a detailed die. No, if I flip this around, you can see that it fits right in there. And then there's this little stitched rectangle that fits in here. So all of those layer together, and this is what it does. So if I just use the embossing folder, this is what I get. And it's very pretty. Okay, so you can use it just like this. You can emboss and then use this outline stamp. So I embossed first and then I outline cut it, but then when you run it through the die cutting machine, it does flatten your embossing again. So then what I did was I opened up my folder, and there's a negative side here that dents in, and you're just going to lay it in here and fit it in a little bit like a puzzle piece. And then once it looks good, then you just close it up and run it through your die cutting machine. Okay, so that's what you get when you use the outline. Now, if you use the other intricate one, then you get this. So this shows all the little holes, and this is a bit of more of a solid. And you're thinking, okay, why would you want one opposed to the other? And that's a very good question. So we're going to look. So here are my pieces so far. I'm going to move the dies away. And then here you have a plain stitched rectangle that fits in the middle. Here's one that's been stamped, but you can see that there's a slight difference here. I did this one in, I can't remember if it's very vanilla. No, see the difference? This is very vanilla. This is shimmery white. So if you want a touch of shimmer to your card, you can use that. And let's see, what's this one? Yeah, so here is the the shimmery white stamped, okay? And you can mix and match, like here, the white and the green, that looks nice. And here is a finished card where I combined the folder with the fitting or the festive florets dies. And it's really nice. And then these are the poinsettias that came out of this. So there's dies to cut these out as well as the holly leaves and the berries. So it's a great set. Are you just about ready to start playing? Okay, so I have another one here that's done in very vanilla. And they look very similar. The very vanilla beside the shimmery white, close. Then I've also done it in this glimmer paper, and that's Evening Evergreen glimmer paper. Now you don't get as much detail on this one. You don't see the embossing, but it's still really, really nice. So now, oh yeah, one more. I also did it in soft suede. And this one I did because I wanted to make it coordinate with this paper here. Okay, so what I did was I cut a bunch of, well, let's move all these out of the way. Got a lot of stuff happening here. I'm going to carefully pick them all up, move them, get rid of that one, and this one. And so what I did was I wanted, because this is big, this big die cut, I like to make a bigger card. So I went with either a 4-inch by 6-inch card, or I used the Memories and More, and that's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And these come in the, I think it's the Santa Express Memories and More cards. So that was kind of what I started with. And then I had paper. So this paper is from Painted Christmas. And I had this, but look, I thought, you know what, this is too busy. It was too busy, so that didn't work. Didn't like that. Turn it over, and then it looks a lot nicer, doesn't it, with a more of a simple background. So I like that. So that one I'm going to move out of the way for a minute because I like that combination. And then with this one, I wanted to go with a softer green in the background. It didn't work with, here, let me move this. This was too bright. See how that just doesn't look right? Now look how nice it looks when I put it on soft succulent. So that looks beautiful. And then I wanted to pick up the brown in the pine cones. And so look how nice this looks. It's just a very serene, soft card with just a hint of the pine cones coming out in the background. So pretty. Then I have this paper, and it's from the that Festive Florets collection, which is just beautiful. Now you could do this like that, but again, I find it a bit too busy. It's up to you, but if I turn this around and then I do a white on here, look how nice that is. That's beautiful. And then put it on a Memories and More card. And we've got that pop of red happening. And then look at this. Isn't that just beautiful? So this folder is so nice that you can just crank out a bunch of them and make that just, you know, your thing. Now let's take a look at this one now. So here we decided that this was still pretty busy. Now take a look what happens when you add a more solid image. Remember? Now you don't have that distraction of all the stuff peeking in, and it actually looks really nice. We can do a white in here. I'm trying to think what background we want, but that looks pretty good. And then we have this green. That looks nice as well with this one. Isn't that pretty? So you want a fairly solid, bold print in the background. And then we're going to, do I have any more stuff? So here we have 3 cards already, and I'm just going to move them out of the way a little bit. And I was playing around because this one is, it's either white, basic white, or shimmery white. I can't remember. But look how that looks here on the check background. And what if we did vanilla on there instead? Is that nicer? And I kind of like it. I think it looks richer than the white, and I like the white on the green. But let's just go back again. You know, they're both nice. You can't go wrong. Okay, so we have these, and we'll put them together in a minute. And then I also have this polka dot, which is beautiful. It's from the Sweetest Christmas, I believe. And let's put that on a very vanilla base. Oh, I have to trim that up. Okay, this is too long. This is a European cardstock, and I think, let me see, let's measure it. And it is, oh yeah, almost 5 7/8. So it's 14.9 centimeters. So I just have to trim this by a little bit, and it's by 4 1/8. which is 10.5 centimeters. So we're going to trim that up. I just found my paper trimmer. Everything is hiding under things. Well, I think it was meant to be that I couldn't find my paper trimmer right away, because then another idea popped into my head. We also have basic white memories and more cards, and they come with, I think, 10 big ones and 10 small ones. Now I don't have to trim this up at all. So you want as big of a surface as possible for your beautiful dies. Now, I don't think I want to put a green one on here, although, that doesn't look bad, does it? So you just have to play, and if you have a bunch of these laying around, you can decide what you like better. See, and this is stamped in Evening Evergreen. Now, what if it looks nicer in Real Red? See, does that pop it up even better? Does that tie the red in better with the green? Who knows? So now let's do one more thing. We have this. We're going to put it on white, and that green in here is Pear Pizzazz. Now see, that softens it up and looks totally different again. Now, do we want to put a balmy blue in there to see how that totally changes the look of things if you don't want to make it Christmas so much? Or do we still like this? And this is a good card to give to somebody when you're, instead of saying Merry Christmas, this would be a good one for someone who is perhaps mourning someone and it's their first Christmas, and it's more of a thinking of you card. So let's put our pieces together. You can also use the whole vanilla section, and that's beautiful too. And then with no pattern paper at all. Very simple, very beautiful. And it looks nice, the white in the vanilla. So you can see all the options that are there. And for my color combinations, because this is also, I was thinking of this paper, and we're going to cut that down for a minute because that's where I had that balmy blue from. When you look on the back of your pattern paper, then you will see what colors are in there. Painted Christmas, Calypso Coral, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Evening Evergreen, Garden Green, Pear Pizzazz, Real Red, Soft Sea Foam, and Soft Succulent. So you're safe to go with any of those colors. And here's the rest of it. There's beautiful pine cones. This one. So, and I think it's called Painted Christmas because our artist at Stampin' Up! Actually painted this background. So it's really beautiful paper. See, and now this one, I'm not going to lie, is not my favorite, but it would look nice maybe in a small piece. But this is on the other side of it, the soft sea foam with a very muted holly, which is really pretty. This is, again, totally different. You wouldn't have to use that for Christmas. And then this side is a little more muted. This is a bit busier again, but with a smaller print. And then you have this, but as much as I don't like this paper that much, I've seen some beautiful cards made with it. So when in doubt, Google is your best friend. Just Google Painted Christmas Stampin' Up! And all the images will come up. So let's just trim up some of this paper, and then we're going to see what it looks like with that color combination, and then we'll put some cards together, and then we're all finished. Sound like a good idea? Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 4 inches by 6 inches, and then it will fit on a Memories and More card. And you can choose basic white, or you can take the Santa Express Memories and More cards, and then you'll get red and green for backgrounds. So lots of options so that you don't have to make your own card bases and that you get a bigger card. I love having those cards in my stash because it just makes it really easy to create. So let's go back now to this. And see, here we have the Pear Pizzazz on there. And then if you combine it with that balmy blue, see how nice that looks? So let your pattern paper be your guide for what you do on your cards. Okay, that's basically the lesson here. And then if we put this on a white, see, it's quite nice. Okay. Let's put a few of these together so that we can see what we've come up with, and then I can take a picture of all the finished cards and you can have a look, see. Okay, I like using a liquid adhesive. So this paper is also from the Santa Express. And when I do my stamping through my stash video tomorrow, I'm going to make a bunch of cards with the stamping, with the Santa's Express Memories and More cards. So that's another easy option. You know, card making is a really fun thing to do with your family. Young children, older children, you know, get your teenagers away from their phones and engage them in the process of creating and giving cards for Christmas. Because you know what? Happy Mail is awesome. And people can sometimes be really lonely at Christmas, especially older people, but not just old people. Everybody loves Happy Mail, and a handmade card in the mail is always well received. You never know what difference you can make in somebody's life. So I'm going to pop this up just because I think it will give it a little je ne sais quoi. And you can add some pearls to this. You could do more, but I just find that the embossing folder is so pretty on its own that it really doesn't need a whole lot. So, and if you're wondering, I am a demonstrator, a Canadian demonstrator. I'm also a demonstrator in the Netherlands, which means you can shop with me in both markets. And I would greatly appreciate that. I would love to have your business. I'm hoping that I get online shoppers that just click on the Shop Now button, just like you would for a coat or shoes or jeans or whatever. You can do it for stamps, ink, and paper as well. For the next 4 years, I won't be doing too many in-person classes because of the traveling back and forth. So this is the way I hope to keep my business going, and I hope that you become a part of it too. So here we go. And look who just came in.
Hi, Scotty.
Yeah, hello.
Mwah. How are you doing?
So this one is with the shimmery white, and the camera is not going to pick up on that, but it is really beautiful. I would give this to a fellow card maker. They will see the shimmer. I think that an unexperienced eye might not. I don't know. The other thing that I haven't played with yet this time is you could sponge color on these, and that would look nice too. But I just wanted to keep it simple and leave it unadorned. I really do like that. And then we're going to pop that up. And I would love to hear from you. Which is your favorite card? Which one do you like the best? This is a great way to make a bunch of Christmas cards, and they're all different. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like making a stack of all the same. I love to create. I love to be creative, and then I feel like a robot or a machine if I'm making them all exactly the same. So this makes me happy, and I like to see the subtle differences. Of course, then when it comes to actually sending the cards away, then I'm always in a dither too, because then I'm trying to match up the card with the right person, trying to say, okay, who would like this one better? Who does this suit more? And yeah, that can make it a bit more of a process. I'll just let Gerard decide who the cards are going to go to. The other thing you could do, this just shot into my head right now, you could use that frame as a center. You could put a picture in the middle, a family Christmas picture. That would look really pretty too. A lot of people do like to send a family photo. And this one, I'm going to pop the whole thing up instead of just the center part. I think that will give it even a nicer look. So you can see how you can mix and match the colors, and you get totally a different look. And this saying is from the Framed Florets, which is a beautiful new collection that's out for November. Okay, I'm running out of little dimensionals. Now, when you just have the edges left, you can use them. Don't throw them out. Just go like that. They work really well, and you can just tear them. You don't have to cut them, which is also nice. And there we go. Oops. You could also take your Wink of Stella, which is a glitter pen, and you could go over top of the folder and you'd get even more of a shimmer. So there's all kinds of little things that you could do to add more bling to your card. So that means that gives us 3. Do I want to do one more? Here, this one. I should almost stamp on this to see what it's going to look like. So a little bit of adhesive. That side's pretty too. I don't know, do I like it better? See, that's how it works. So you kind of play, you go, oh, and that happens in classes too, and then that's how people end up all with a different card. This is nice too, but not with that. Yeah, that's interesting too, isn't it? Oh, yes. I just had high tea with two of my cousins, and I find that's just such a nice way to catch up with people. And I hadn't seen my cousin. She's my oldest cousin on my mom's side, so she has a lot of stories from the family. She fits right in with the youngest, my mom's youngest sisters. So by the time my oldest uncle had kids, he was having kids at the same time his mother was, just about. So it makes for an interesting family dynamic when there's such a big, when it's such a big family. I'm going to pop this one up as well. Oh, I just put, oh, there's my dimensionals. They're hiding. It's amazing where we find things, sometimes stuck to our sleeves, sometimes on the bottom of my foot. I'll think, why do I have a sore foot? And then I find out that I have a pearl on the bottom of my foot that fell off and got stuck to my sock. Yeah. Glitter on your face, that's not unusual. But yeah, where's the strangest place you've ever found something? I don't know if I've ever found anything down my bra, but it is amazing where things will end up when you're crafting. There. Okay, so now we're going to stamp something. I think I want to try it with that blue because I find it really unusual. So this is my standby trick. I keep my negative from here. So this is where I cut that rectangle out of with my die cutting machine, and I just pop that in there. And now I have to decide what sayings I want. And this is the framed and festive. So I think I want to just do from our home to yours because this isn't the most Christmassy thing. This could be sent at any time. Our home to yours. And let's just move this out of here for a minute and just lay it in. I've got, this is kind of a mess. I'm going to put it about there. And I could maybe, I'm going to put it up higher. Maybe we'll stamp something on the bottom just to show that you can do it differently. That looks pretty good. I'm going to stamp it with Evening Evergreen. That's the color of the evergreen bows in the background. So I'm tying in all the colors. That's the nice thing about Stampin' Up. Everything coordinates. That looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to give it one more layer of color. And that's what's so easy to do with the Stamparatus. Just let it fall. There, beautiful. Now, we're going to do a little something on the bottom, I think. You know what? I don't need the Stamparatus for that. So now we have this, and we're going to take, I think, this one, or let's take a look at the background paper. Oh, I just got ink. I forgot to close up my ink pad, and guess what happens then? Then you get inky fingers and inky knuckles, I'm telling you. Okay, now I have to decide which one I want, and I have this. That one actually looks the most like this one. Let's see. So I'm leaning towards this, and then, yeah, okay, we're gonna do that. Getting a block, and then I have to open up the stamp set that I just closed up, the ink pad, I mean. There. So let's just do a gentle tap, tap, tap. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another one. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. See? And then that ties it in just perfectly, and you get a really nice looking, maybe should I do a third one? I don't like twos. Let's do one more. Except I don't have anything to stamp on, so let's just use a notebook here. And one more. Tap, tap, and Yeah, I like that. Okay, we'll finish off our card, and now you can see that we have made a bunch of different cards, and they're all, I think, lovely. And you get a little bit of a glimpse into how I come up with my designs. So I just like to grab some pattern paper, cut some card bases or card fronts, and have a few different card bases of different colors, and then just start laying them on top of each other and interchanging. And then sometimes you start thinking outside the box. And like for example, with this color in the inside, I at the beginning I would never have chosen that color to go in with it. Now, oh yeah, and then I'm not going to make another card because I have this one. So this is the one that I use the full background in, like this. And then you can cover it. See, so this is thinking outside the box, and I have to give credit to Gail Ellis. I saw a card from her made with the layering of these dies. So you don't have to be stuck with doing a rectangle in the inside. You can cover that up with something else. And that looks really nice too because these pieces do stick up all around it. So anyway, I'm so happy that you came and joined me today. Thank you for joining me for Stories and Stamps. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, especially if you've never done so. I love to meet the people who watch my videos, and subscribe to my channel, and that way you won't miss out anymore. And if you don't have a demonstrator already, I would love to have your business. This is my business model. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm hoping that people will just click on the show more and then see which products that they like, that they want, and order. Whenever you order from me, I will send you a free PDF tutorial as a thank you to give you lots of inspiration and keep you stamping, because if you're not inspired, you don't stamp. And if you don't stamp, then your products just sit there on the shelf, and that's a shame. So my goal is to inspire you so that you use your products and that you feel better having purchased them. I don't ever want to sell you something that you're not going to use. All right. Have a super day, and let's make the world a better place together, one card at a time. Bye.